Okay, the best way to predict your future is to create it. Abraham Lincoln. A very good morning to one and all present for today's webinar series organized by Soundarya College of Law, Bengaluru. I am Vinay Ravishankar, Assistant Professor, Soundarya College of Law. First, I would like to thank our resource person for today's webinar, Dr. Gayathri Bai, Assistant Professor, B.M.S College of Law, Bengaluru, for accepting our invitation to deliver a lecture on the topic Significance and the Role of Insurance Sector in India. We welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Now, I welcome Shri Keerthan Kumar, CEO, Soundarya Educational Trust, for joining with us for today's webinar. Now, I would also like to welcome Dr. B.P. Mahesha, Principal, Soundarya College of Law, Bengaluru, our faculties, students and participants for joining Soundarya College of Law webinar series. Before starting the session, I take it as a privilege to introduce our resource person, Dr. Gayathri Bai, Assistant Professor, B.M.S College of Law, Bengaluru. Ma'am has pursued her graduation in law and she has pursued her LLM from University Law College, Bangalore University in the year 2005 with specialization in business law. Ma'am was also awarded PhD degree from Department of Studies in Law, University of Mysuru in the year 2017 for her thesis titled Protection of Foreign Direct Investment under International Law with special reference to India. Ma'am has also cleared her Karnataka State Eligibility Test in the year 2015. She has started her teaching career in the year 2005 and she joined Seshadripuram Law College in the year 2006. Ma'am has a vast experience of 7 years in research in various subjects. Her area of interest is foreign direct investment, constitutional law, intellectual property rights, company law, taxation, and criminal laws. She has also coordinated various state and national level conferences organized in collaboration with Karnataka Institute for Law and Parliamentary Reforms, that is KILPAR, and the Karnataka State Women's Commission, and she was also the editor of the conference proceedings. Ma'am has also published many research articles in UGC journals and international journals and presented several research papers during various national and international conferences and seminars organized by esteemed institutions across India. And ma'am has also been invited as a resource person by Christ School of Law, Christ University, Bangalore. And also, ma'am has also set various question papers for examinations of Karnataka State Law University, Hubli, and also Bangalore University. So, on behalf of Soundarya College of Law, we welcome you, ma'am. Over to you, ma'am.
Is it my slide visible to all?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mahesha, give me 1 minute. I just want to know whether the slide is visible to all.
Yes, madam.
Okay. Very good morning, one and all. First, I thank Mahesha for giving me this opportunity. And I also thank the management and the faculty members of Soundarya College of Law for this. So a very good morning to all the participants who have joined this to attend this webinar session. The topic which I have chosen, the role and the significance of insurance sector in India. I think all of us, we know this is a most important subject which is there in our syllabus as per the KCLU guidelines. So I will be lecturing or explaining the concept of insurance, not just from the aspect of syllabus copy, but I just want to concentrate more. Once you opt for that particular subject, to what extent it will mold your career as an advocate, or what are the career options which are available? Because as a law student, when we pursue law, ultimately we always think about what are the avenues which are available for us to get it once we complete our LLB degree. So why we need to study international law? So my lecture will be focusing on the law of insurance from the career perspective, as well as what is a significant role which will be played by insurance sector in Indian economy. So these are the two important aspects I'll be covering in my lecture. So as I've already said, the concept is insurance sector. That is nothing but your insurance law, contract of insurance. But what is its impact on the economic development of India? To what extent insurance sector it's playing role in development of Indian economy? So I think I just want to mention a phrase or the quotes from Bhagavad Gita. So I don't know how many of you have read or learned few concepts or have information about Bhagavad Gita. So here there is a one particular sentence, the phrase in Bhagavad Gita, which clearly says, Yad bhavati tat nashyati. It's a Sanskrit language, but what it says, and why I'm connecting this Bhagavad Gita quotes to our today's lecture. So here, first important thing it is, what is an insurance? What is an insurance? You take a purchase, you take a life policy, you take some other types of insurance policy, something happens, yes, the insurance company will give you. What insurance company will give you? Under what circumstances? So if my death takes place, if I die, yes, a loss takes place, and that will be compensated by insurance company. So I'm stressing here, after my death. Death is very certain when we take birth in this world. So every person who takes birth, he or she should die one day. That is nothing but the destruction of your body. Similarly, whatever things, objects we create, we manufacture, which exist in this world, on this earth, one fine day, it should be destroyed. So this particular quote from Bhagavad Gita, whatever you create, whether you create or created by your nature, created by God Almighty, one or the other day, it should be destroyed. As a human being, it's our human tendency, if something it is destroyed, first thing which strikes in our mind, it is a loss what I have suffered, because it is a destruction which has taken place. Natural calamity, destruction, we suffer loss. A death of a person, it is a loss of life, and family dependence suffers so many things. And if some object is destroyed, some particular thing it is destroyed, automatically you suffer a loss. So now the question is, whenever there is a destruction, we always suffer a loss, but how to cope up with that particular loss? So Bhagavad Gita has clearly given, saying that is, whatever you create, one day it should be destroyed. We can't stop destruction of thing or a death of a person, but as a precautionary method, we can take some measures where we can cope up with the loss in future. So the entire year, the concept of or the mechanism of insurance based on precautionary method. So tomorrow I may die. Yes, if I die, there should not be a financial loss. After my death, yes, policy amount will be given to my dependents. So purchasing a life policy, it is a precautionary step which always be taken by every person so that dependents will be safeguarded in future. If something happens to my laptop, it is stolen, I will be under loss. If I take a theft policy, if this fire policy is taken with respect to a building, something happens to my building, it's a financial loss. So beforehand, I take a fire policy. So when whatever it is destroyed, we cannot stop, but as a precautionary method, we can purchase life policy. Something goes wrong, a loss, and life policy or maybe any other type of policy which will compensate our loss. So idea behind insurance policy to get monetary benefits or to compensate the financial loss what we suffered. So that is a basic idea why we should go for an insurance policy. So once as a layman, when we purchase insurance policy, right, we should know in and out about that particular insurance policy. See, when we are educated, but we are just a layman when we are not aware about the laws. But being a law student, it is our duty. Being an advocate, it is our duty to protect the interest of public at large. So in that circumstances where a person having a vast, well-versed knowledge with insurance law plays a very important role. Please mark it, students. Once you get enrolled, start practicing insurance cases, you have a very good opportunity and you will get a very good opportunities and you will flourish. Because that is the difference between a policy holder, layman, as well as an advocate or the law student. So this is the basic why I have mentioned yat bhavati tat nashati. It is nothing but once something it is destroyed, in that circumstances, insurance sector plays a very important role to compensate the loss. Somehow you can manage your life or you move forward. So now, as what is said, your insurance sector plays a very important role. As a law student, we should know what is insurance, types of insurance, what are the laws which regulates. As a layman, just presume for a moment, we will think we are just a layman. Looking at the advertisements, TV, newspapers, or any information that is shared by the government, we will say life policy or maybe fire policy. I think all of us, we are addicted to the electronic gadgets, right? The moment we take a mobile phone, cell phones, we go for a theft policy. So once we say insurance, there are so many different types of insurance policies exist in this world. My perspective, it is Indian perspective. So in this particular slide, I just one particular simple image where I'm sharing with you. It is a health policy, life policy, travel policy, business, house, car. So these are the different types of policies which at present, which are running very good. And most of the people, irrespective of your class, irrespective of kind of business, kind of occupation, most of the population in India, they prefer insurance policy. So depending upon the requirements, essentials, yes, they can opt, purchase life policy. They can go for life policy or maybe a fire policy, marine policy, theft, all those things. So these are the types of insurance. But as a law student, as what is said, once you complete your law degree, you get enrolled, start practice, you're in on insurance cases side or become MBC advocate. Basic thing, what is this insurance from the law perspective? I think all of us, we are the law student. Even though I'm a teacher, but still I consider myself as a law student because teaching is a learning process. Throughout your life, you learn. So that's the reason I don't call myself as a teacher. I always call myself as a law student. So here, moving ahead. So when we say insurance, we have so many laws regulates insurance in India. Life policy, marine policy, maybe fire policy. We call it as your the last miscellaneous insurance policies. But before understanding the laws related or governing the insurance sector in India, first we should understand what is this insurance. So as per the provision of Indian Insurance Act 1938, insurance, there is a definition, it is contract of insurance. So what is this contract of insurance? So here I have mentioned two definitions of contract of insurance. The first one is a statutory definition as per Indian Insurance Act of 1938. The second, it is a simplified version of the first definition. So here I have highlighted the essential elements of contract of insurance. Okay, before I'll put it in a very simple, before I move ahead with the explanation of this particular section, I just want answer from the audience. How many of you seen life policy bonds or any type of insurance bonds? I'll make it very interactive because I believe in interaction with participants. So I don't want to be a monotonous one-side explanation. Can I expect an answer? Have you seen life policy bonds?
LIC, ma'am.
Okay. Have you seen the bond, sir? Is it?
No.
You think?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning,
Okay.
ma'am.
What can you just highlight? What are the contents or the words, like in a more simplified manner? What are the contents you find in that LIC bond, policy bond? Chats. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Aruna. Yes. I just want you to highlight or mention what are the contents you come across or you will find in that particular LIC bond. It may be the front side of the bond as well as the back side of the bond.
So it basically covers what all events or casualties will be covered, like what all, in case of a health insurance, for example, it will be covering like what all diseases will be covered, what all diseases are eliminated, and what is the waiting period for certain diseases, only after which the insurance will be paid, and what is the amount of the insurance and what is the premium, etc.
Okay, so as per the participant, two information what she has shared, it is a type of risk or the type of event which is covered in that particular bond or the policy, the amount of insurance. Apart from these two, do we find or come across any other important things in a insurance bond? As someone told me, LIC bond, madam. So when we say LIC bond, it is the insurance company. We call him as insurer. Okay. So I'll come back to this particular slide. So now once we say insurance, as a layman or maybe as a law student, we say, yes, it is an insurance, a bond, madam. It is an insurance company. It is there. As someone said, LIC, yes, LIC is insurance company, which gives life policies. So most important, to whom it is giving? It is issuing that life policy to an individual, covering the life of that particular individual. So there must be two persons. I think all of you are aware about the contract, the capacity of the parties. The most important for a valid contract there must be existence of two parties, minimum two parties. Same thing to apply here. So insurance, when we say understand the concept of insurance, it is a contract of insurance. So what is this contract of insurance? Very simple manner, we call it as contract of insurance is nothing but a contract to indemnify. In the beginning of this session, I said, something happens, destruction takes place, we suffer a loss. Loss of life, financial loss to the dependents. If building it is collapsed or it is destroyed because of fire, owner will suffer a financial loss. If something happens to the boat or the yacht or maybe the ship, yes, it is a financial loss to the owner and the owner of the ship and the cargoes. So your contract of insurance, using legal terminology, it is contract of indemnity. What is indemnity? Contract of indemnity, it is nothing but to compensate the loss. The very objective of your contract of insurance, it is to indemnify the loss which has taken place, which is caused because of destruction of your object or the life. So that's the reason we call contract of insurance as a contract to indemnify. Whom you will indemnify? You will indemnify a person. Who is a person here? As already said, two persons. One it is LIC as per your example, and the second it is whose life is insured in LIC policy. So LIC is an insurance company. Contract of insurance clearly says LIC is an insurer. And the person who has suffered a loss, whose loss will be indemnified by LIC. So that particular person, we call him as insured. So insurer as well as insured. And this particular person loss will be indemnified against a loss, financial loss which you suffered. But when, how, why this financial loss? I think some student highlighted in a health policy, the event will be specified. What is the event? You fall sick. Many risks are mentioned. Something like this is a disease which are included in the policy. If you suffer from this disease, you hospitalized. Yes, reimbursement takes place in your medical policy. So here a loss takes place whenever there is a happening of event. After my death, it is an event. If the death takes place, if I die, it is a financial loss which will be caused to my family members or to my dependents. So the moment I die, it is an insured event. Yes, a loss to my family members. Insurance company will come forward to indemnify. How it will indemnify? It will pay amount to my family members. So what is that amount called? In a legal terminology, we call it as insured amount. So here we have understood insurance company, insurer. There must be insured person. Event is insured. If that event happens, my death takes place, loss automatically to my family members. When the loss takes place, yes, the insured amount will be paid by insurance company. So why will they pay insured amount to my family? On what basis? As already said, the insurance is nothing but a contract. And the most essential element of your valid contract, it is valid adequate consideration. What is the consideration which will be given in this contract of insurance? The term premium comes into existence here. So when I purchase life policy bond, regularly, quarterly, yearly, half yearly, monthly, I pay premium amount to LIC. After my death, amount insured, maybe 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs, 1 crore. After my death, yes, the amount, insured amount will be paid. So this is what the gist or the essential elements of contract of insurance. I'll repeat. LIC, I'm the insured person. My life is insured. Death takes place. Loss takes place. Insured amount, it is paid to my dependents, provided the premium amount paid from my side during my lifetime. So in this circumstances where your contract of insurance company is liable. But here just one point I'll just to share here. As already said, what is the role of insurance advocature? Once you complete, get enrolled and start giving importance or practice and insurance field, when any clash or any dispute takes place between LIC and the insured person or the dependents of insured person, we call him as a nominee. An insurance company is not ready to pay insured amount because of some reason. The claimant, the dependents of insurance, or the insured person, they want money. In that circumstances, advocate plays a very important role to protect the interest of a policyholder. And it doesn't mean that insurance company will not suffer any loss. I think there are so many cases where the fraudulent claims are filed by people to claim amount from insurance companies. If you have a time, please log into the IRDA website and especially LIC websites where you come across how many fraudulent claims are filed and the people are expecting or claiming insured amount from insurance companies. So don't think it is always a public at large individual or the policy holder suffer loss or they faces some consequences or maybe they are cheated. Because of the fraudulent act of the policy holder sometimes or maybe public at large, even insurance company, they are suffering loss. To bridge the gap between these two, to protect the interest of both the stakeholders, here's your advocate plays a very important role. So this is a meaning of the contract of insurance. So moving ahead, before I continue, just a small request. As I already said, 45 minutes, my lecture, 15 minutes interaction doesn't mean that it is not a hard and fast rule. During my lecture, any point of time, if you feel that you have a doubt, you want to ask something, please feel free to ask. Is it clear? Okay. So the next, I continue with the same LIC definition. What is most important in your contract of insurance? As I already said, LIC is an insurance company, policy holder. So this is the image, a policy holder, maybe a male, female, whoever it is. So first important thing it is your terms and conditions which are included in policy bond. That's the reason I asked you in the beginning, how many of you seen a policy bond? It may be marine, fire, or it may be life policies issued by so many insurance companies, public or maybe private. So the moment we say a policy bond, yes, contract of insurance is completed, terms and conditions are included, the policy it is issued. When you see the front face or the front side of your policy, you come across with name of the insurance company, policy holder, date of premium amount, payment of quarterly, all those things, or the insured amount. But most important, as a policy holder, maybe as an advocate, please turn the leaf and see the back side of the policy bond. In a very small size, the terms and conditions are included. So many times, being a policy holder, we will not concentrate on all those things. We just say, insurance agent, he will come, give little information. Yes, we will also be in a hurry because it is a tax saving mechanism. We pay something, policy is issued. We are least bothered to turn the bond and see the backside of the bond. And the next, yes, bond it is issued. The premium plays a very important role and the events which are insured. And yes, once event takes place, you get a huge amount of that is insured amount. But important thing it is with the what type of policy. As I already said, it may be life policy. What event? It is a death of a person is insured event. If I die, yes, maybe another 1 week or maybe 1 month, my dependents get a insured amount. So similarly, in a fire policy, the event which is insured, it is if building catches fire immediately where the destruction takes place. The moment it catches fire and it destroys the building, that is an insured event. Yes, owner of the building is entitled for the insurance amount. In case of a marine policy, a floating property, that is a cargo, maybe the ship floating, because of the risk, perils of the sea, we call it as the perils of the sea. So, example like tsunami, all those things. Yes, your ship is submerged in water, the cargoes are damaged. That is an insured event. You are entitled for the insured amount. I think most of you are aware about, yes, Aruna. You have raised your hand, Aruna.
Yeah. So you said about the insurance against tsunami, but tsunami is a natural event. So will it be covered?
Yeah, that's what I just gave an example. Okay. So example, I can say it, yeah, very in a simple manner. If you have studied in your law of torts, a collision between two ships, or maybe there are so many the case laws where you have studied in your law of torts, where a small hole will be there in a ship, through which that will be done by a rat, through which a water enters, the entire the cargo, that is a rice, will be damaged. So here, that's the reason I said, as a layman or maybe as a teacher, we will say tsunami will be covered, or thundering will be covered, lightning will be covered. All these are the events covered. But once you take a policy, please turn the page and you will get to know insured event and the events which will not be covered in a policy. That's the reason I highlighted. The moment you take a policy, turn the page, turn the bond, and we need to concentrate more what events are insured, covered. If something that happens, yes, I'm entitled for the policy amount, otherwise not. And very disclaimer, or I can say the natural calamities. Whether some earthquake takes place, my building, it is destroyed because of lightning. Yes, my property or the car, it is destroyed. So can I claim policy? Can I claim a policy insured amount? So these are the intricacies which are involved, and that we need to understand after reading the terms and conditions of policy bond. Please, it is my request, you become an advocate and give more importance on terms and conditions which are incorporated in your bond. So here, I will not just highlight in detail, I will not highlight what are the terms and conditions, what are the events which are insured with respect to particular policy. It may be marine, fire, the health policy, maybe your theft, or maybe your LICs or the life policies. Depending upon the subject matter of insurance, okay, depending upon the financial conditions, the premium, most important, depending upon the premium amount or the age of the person, the terms and conditions will always be included in a contract of insurance, and that is left between your, will be decided by your insurance company, that is insurer as well as a insured person. Okay, so here as Aruna asked the question, whether natural calamities or tsunami or a lightning or any other incidents which are unexpected one. Okay, so that it is will be as per the law, or maybe as per your private insurance sector, maybe your public government undertakings, they will, depending upon the financial, all those things, they will decide. Okay, but important as per the law, what is important, once the event is insured, identified as insured, even something happens, the policy holder is entitled for the insured amount. So this is just a general, the general explanation of the information with respect to contract of insurance, with respect of types of insurance. Once we say insurance exists, there must be terms and conditions, the bond, the premium you will pay, event happens, and automatically at the end of the day, yes, the insurance company is liable to pay insured amount. So all these are your a legal or the law perspective. But here, as a word is said, as a law student, what are the different kinds of insurance or in market? Why I'm stressing on this? We have so many different types of insurance policies or types of insurance. So depending upon that, yes, your especially private sectors will have the panelist, will have an advocate as insurance company advocates or a panelist in your insurance companies. It may be LIC. Most of the time when we use as a term life insurance, the always which will strike in our head, it is LIC. Because the very first example given from the side of participants, LIC. It is not that only LIC is it's in life insurance business. Apart from insurance, there are so many other private sectors. So I'll highlight on the private sector on insurance in insurance department or the field afterwards. So general insurance, it includes fire or the marine, motor vehicle insurance. So here, students, please keep your mind. If you want to pursue your career in insurance, you need to concentrate more on MVCs. And where I think all of us, we know, especially in a city like Bangalore, where most of the time road accidents are taking place or will take place. The moment accident takes place, yes, the victim is entitled for insured amount or the compensation. So your MVC cases, we have n number of MVC cases where students can pursue their career in this particular field. So which is regulated as per your Claims Act, MVC Act. Miscellaneous insurance, which covers your Mediclaim, health policies, agricultural, crop, and finally it is your public liability insurance. Like anybody like throw a light on Bhopal gas leak case? Because of this particular act, because thanks to the former Chief Justice of the Judge of Supreme Court of India, that is Justice T.N. Bhagwati sir, because of his judgment, where the Public Liability Insurance Act came into picture. So under which the insurance policy will be issued, and all the companies, the factories, industries which are involved in hazardous manufacturing of hazardous substance, they are liable. Prior condition, they have to have a public liability insurance, otherwise they can't start their work. So these are the different types of insurance which are in market. More number of insurance policies, more number of cases, yes, more avenues or the opportunities will be available to insurance advocates. So now, what is a role played by insurance sector in Indian economy? As what is said, my topic, it is not just giving a legal aspect of your insurance sector, what role it is played or it's played by insurance sector in Indian economy. I think all of us, we know LPG, liberalization, privatization, as well as a globalization. So what is this LPG and what is its impact on Indian economy? How many of you heard about industrial policies when it was introduced in India, and how this LPG concept was introduced in India? And what is the impact on Indian economy because of introduction of this LPG in Indian economy? Industrial policies. It's a concept of your mixed economy, capitalist as well as your... Okay. So here, why I'm highlighting this LPG? When you study about history of insurance sector, especially in India, we find from your 18th century, or it may be of your 19th century, the moment the British people invaded in India, 1600, and there was a lot of export-import through waterways. and British gave importance to the marine insurance, the Bubble Act. So at that time, the private foreign insurance company, which were doing they were doing business in India. Yes, from 1600, 17th century, 18th century, yes, till 1947. There are so many private enterprises who were in insurance business in India, but subsequently where India got its independence, the private people couldn't meet the expectation, or the private enterprises couldn't meet the needs of public at large. So they said, we will nationalize everything. So in the year 1956, or if I'm not wrong, the Life Policy Act came into picture, that is LIC Act came into picture, and they said only LIC will issue life policies throughout the territorial limits of India. That is, we call it as a nationalization of life policies. Moving ahead, in the year 1972, the General Insurance Business Nationalization Act 1972, and they said no more issue of fire policy, marine policy from any private industries, private entities. So by the end of 1972, LIC, your insurance sector was completely under the control of the government undertaking. So one side LIC, other side it was JC, that is General Insurance Corporation of India. I think till the introduction, before introducing LPG, it was the entire insurance sector was under government. And as all of us we know, government cannot meet the needs and requirements and expectations of the whole public at large because lack of finance. It could not concentrate on rural sector. It could not cover more number of people. So that's the reason they introduced LPG, and they said, we will introduce the LPG in insurance sector also. So because of this LPG, introducing LPG in the field of insurance, they said, we will privatize insurance sector. I think, I don't know how many of you remember or aware about when LIC, the concept of privatization of insurance sector came into picture, many allegations were made against the government and many procession or a revolt, so many things took place. But Indian government was adamant when it's with respect to its decision. They said nothing doing, we will introduce private sector in insurance. But here, please, I just change my slide. When we say because of the private entities in insurance sector, this is the statistical data as per the database which is prevailed in IRDA website. So life at present, by the end of March 2021, that is a data which is available in IRDA official website. At present, along with LIC, 23 more private insurance companies are playing their role in life insurance cases. General Insurance Company, 33 plus 1, including General Insurance Corporation of India. Reinsurance, it is completely a different concept. It is only GIC of India is entitled to issue reinsurance policy bond. So here, because of the privatization, where we have this so many number of insurance companies issuing policy. When we say issuing policy by so many companies, automatically it covers more people, more number of people. LIC was concentrating only on one person. So now because of 24, they could concentrate on 24 people. So as and when the number of insurance companies is increased, automatically covering the life of people will also increase. Automatically the premium amount it is increased. So that is how the money from your pocket will enter the economy. An insurance company can use it for infrastructure with the government rules, regulations. That is how the flow of money enters the government or enters the Indian economy. So I think the third column in this particular table, it is the crores of rupees on business it is earned by these insurance companies. If LIC is there, it can cover only people. From the perspective of Indian economy, privatization is playing a much important role, more important role, and it's able to generate finance. From the perspective of policyholder, maybe public at large, yes, even a middle class person can afford life policy. And even a person below BPL, below poverty level, a person can afford the life policies. We call it as a micro insurance. Micro insurance, it is a concept, a new insurance policy is being introduced in order to cover the life of people who are living below the BPL. So even with a small amount, small premium amount, small insured, yes, your life is insured amount, your life is insured. So this is the statistical data as per the IRDA website. So because of privatization of insurance sector, a huge money it is entering Indian economy. And now I think a student will be having a doubt, like a query with respect to FDI. All these, whatever the amount, what I've mentioned in the in a tabular format, it is the Indian capital which enters Indian economy. That is a domestic capital. But now because of the statement or the budget of Indian government, up to 74% of FDI, it is allowed in insurance sector. More and more FDI enters Indian economy, covering the lives of people, covering the property of people, where to wider extent where insurance coverage can be given. Please think from the perspective of finance, yes, a good flow of money takes place. But from the perspective of your public at large, in the interest of public, my property is insured. Even a person below BPL, his life is insured with a small premium amount and the small insured amount. The purpose it is served, right? So that is the information as per this particular this. And now, before going into this particular, the social sector, sorry, the role of insurance sector in economy, what are the legislations? I will not explain. These are the legislations which are available, but I will explain the most important legislation is IRDA, Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority, 1991. As what is said, the privatization of insurance sector in India came into picture only after 1991. Before that, Indian government enacted a legislation of 1990 IRDA, as per which IRDA authority is established with having a branch office, head office. So this IRDA at present, from A to Z of insurance sector, it is regulated. It may be private, public, registration, intermediaries, insurance agent, ombudsman, grievances with respect to the policy holders. All these A to Z of your insurance sector, it is under the control of this IRDA. Don't think that is insurance sector, it is privatized. Private people have more, have more key role to play. It doesn't mean that they are left free. No, because as all of us we have experienced, once a private sector enters, most of the time the interest of public at large, it will not be protected. That is an assumption, presumption, or sometimes it is proved also. So IRDA, it is an authority which regulates, especially regulates in a strict manner the private insurance sectors in India. So now important thing it is, yes, we have LIC, we have ICICI, we have Kotak, we have Bharat insurance companies. There are so many, 24 private along with LIC, we have so many insurance companies. But what is an important role it is played by these insurance company with respect to improvement or development of Indian economy? Just a 4 important points here. It is saving and insurance. How many of you have studied taxation here? Please raise your hand if you don't mind. law of taxation, or Mahesh sir, is this a group, a gathering, like a combination of all the highest semester, lowest semester, or just a first year of 3 years or 5 years?
Yes, ma'am.
I just want to know the participants, is it a combination of all the semester students or just a first
Yes,
freshers?
a combination of all the semesters, ma'am.
Yeah, okay. I think the students have studied, a few students at least might know about the law of taxation. So here, the first, why this insurance sector is very much important, that is a saving and insurance. As what I said, I'm a salaried class of employee. To encourage my savings, I can invest in life policy. The moment I invest 1 lakh in life policy, automatically LIC gets a 1 lakh. So that can be utilized for some other objectives as per the LIC Act. So why this insurance is playing important role, our saving capacity will increase because it is a tax saving mechanism. If I get a 1 lakhs of salary, if there is no saving mechanism or insurance amount, I will spend the entire 1 lakh. In order to motivate people to save, invest in insurance policies, yes, automatically I will save. Every month, 500 rupees premium amount. After my death, 1 lakh, it is given to my parents. Something like that. So insurance always encourages saving and insurance, saving mechanism, that a flow of money to the government or the economy, capital formation as well as insurance. In the previous slide, I showed, depending upon the number of policy holders, this is a crores of rupee enters Indian insurance companies. Yes, Indian insurance companies, whether it is a public or it is a private, gets a huge capital, domestic capital. Yes, you invest in some other work. Yes, development of economy takes place. Third important, obligation to rural and social sector. How many of you heard about ESI, group life insurance? So here, the major reason why privatization was permitted, LIC could not concentrate on rural population because less fund, less government people, less undertakings. So in order to spread insurance provisions or the insurance service across India, that is especially rural sector, they said we will privatize with the condition, yes, you have to cover, issue LIC policy to rural population also. So that is the idea behind privatization. So you provide insurance to rural people, provide insurance to cattle, provide insurance to agricultural farmer, that is a agricultural insurance, crop insurance, cattle insurance. You cover rural population. They should not be isolated or they should not be kept outside the purview of insurance services. So that is the main reason, or how the insurance sector services spread each and every corner of India, covering rural population also. And the last important role with respect to Indian economy, which is played by insurance sector, is insurance as financial intermediary. I just give an example as of what is said. Just take an example of LIC. LIC gets a huge premium amount. 10 years, 20 years premium amount is with that LIC. After 20 years, I'll die. Every month I'm paying a premium of 500. What LIC will do with that 500 of premium amount? Whether it will be kept as it is. So here, as per your LIC Act, whatever the premium amount it is collected by the insurer, the LIC, especially in LIC, it can redistribute as a housing loan to the policy holder. It becomes a financial institution. So whatever the insurance amount you get, you can channel it in any other mode, in any other field, provided with the prior permission of IRDA. So as per the LIC Act, with the prior permission of IRDA, insurance premium amount collected by LIC can be invested in government infrastructure activities. Yes, economy is improved, flyovers are constructed, metro it is available, economy it is developed, or it can issue loans. Policyholder can borrow loan amount. So when we say insurance company, it is not just provide insurance service, it becomes a financial intermediary, can provide financial services. So from the perspective of economic development, insurance sector really is playing a very important role. But only thing it is, we need to regulate it in a good manner. Otherwise, especially the private insurance will not protect the interest of policyholders. In that circumstances where your insurance advocates play a very significant role. So now last slide of today's session. Once I opt for, if I study insurance law, what is avenues or the career option is available for me? So first important thing it is, you get enrolled, and doesn't mean that only if you have studied insurance law, only then you can become an insurance company advocate. Nothing like that. Okay, well-versed subject. First important scope which is available, it is you can become a panelist in insurance companies. I don't know how many of you seen MVC procedures, motor vehicles claims tribunal procedures. If you go and observe, advocate will appear. I'm appearing on behalf of LIC, appearing on behalf of ICC, appearing on behalf of Bharat Insurance Company. I'm appearing on behalf of Kotak Insurance Company. So, because especially with respect to MVC, where accident cases, so many opportunities are available to become an advocate representing the interest of insurance companies. So there is a panelist. Second, you can become an exclusive legal advisor in your insurance companies. Presume for a moment you go to attend an interview. You are well versed in insurance law. You know at least the basics about insurance law. I'll go without any knowledge about insurance law. Whom do they prefer? They always prefer you because you have studied, you have knowledge about insurance law. So there is option to become an exclusive legal advisor in your insurance companies and advocates for claimants. As what he said, when we become an advocate, I think all of us, we know it's a noble profession where you need to serve the society. Something you have to return it back to the society. Yes, advocate for claimants. Maybe a poor person, maybe a rich class person. Yes, one side, advocate appear on behalf of insurance companies, and the other side, yes, you have option to appear as an advocate for the claimants. Please keep your mind, every then and there accidents are increasing in metropolitan cities. Vehicles are involved. And as all of us, we know, without having a motor vehicle insurance, your vehicle cannot enter the public road. Accident takes place, always your insurance company is liable to pay compensation. And on behalf of claimant, you can argue. On behalf of insurance company, you can argue. So these are the avenues, career options, which are available when you have knowledge about insurance law. So this is all about the topic, what I have chosen. Maybe from the economic perspective, or more important from the career aspect. I've explained a very overview of your insurance. So now if you have any doubt, you can ask me. So this is my thank you message. Before that, any doubt, any questions? Sorry, I've extended my time. I'm sorry, I apologize for that.
So thank you very much, ma'am, for the informative speech on significance and role of insurance sector in India. Ma'am has highlighted with reference to a quote from Bhagavad Gita, starting with a reference. Then ma'am has spoken in detail with respect to the idea behind insurance. And she discussed regarding the various kinds of insurance like fire insurance, marine insurance, motor vehicle insurance, reinsurance, etc. And ma'am spoke in detail regarding the concept of contract of insurance, essential elements of insurance. Ma'am spoke in detail regarding the concept of the policy bond. And she also discussed regarding the contract of indemnity. And ma'am also highlighted regarding the insured amount, premium, and events that are covered and events that are not covered. That is very much important. And ma'am spoke in detail regarding the IRDA. And she also made a point regarding the fraudulent claims made by the customers from the insurance companies, as a result of which losses suffered by the insurance companies. And ma'am also spoke in detail regarding the role of insurance in the growth of Indian economy. And ma'am also highlighted a very important point, that is the career options for the law students in the insurance sector. And ma'am also discussed in detail regarding the concept of liberalization, privatization, and globalization. And ma'am also provided a statistical data of the insurance companies in India. And finally, she also discussed regarding the legislations relating to the insurance. Okay. Thank you very much, ma'am. Now, I request our beloved principal, Dr. B.P. Mahesha, Soundarya College of Law, Bengaluru, to deliver the presidential remarks.
Student side, any questions, clarifications, any doubts? If the students are having any doubts and clarification required, you can post it in a chat box.
Probably when they start attending classes, then they'll maybe asking questions to you only, sir.
I think there is no doubts as such, because the speech was very crystal clear, very informative, and thought-provoking. Yeah, there are a few points to be noted here. No doubt, India is a best place for investment in insurance sector. Why I'm telling this? Because being a law student, no doubt, insurance refers to a legal contract between the insurer and the insured person. Even though it's a contract between the two persons, after liberalization, privatization, globalization, number of companies entered to India. They were given a permission to invest and to start the business in India. As for the data available, the insurance industry of India has 57 companies, insurance companies, 57 plus insurance companies, except life insurance corporations. All insurance companies are private sector companies. No doubt. When you come into the job opportunities, insurance as career sector, there's a robust demand. Why I'm using this word? Because the gross first year premium of life insurance increased by 6.94% in 21 and 22 until 31st January 2022. It was 2,27,188 crore rupees. If you compare it to US money, $29.54 US billion business. Then coming to attractive opportunities, the Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority, shortly known as IRDAI, allowed insurers to invest debt security of infrastructure investment trust and real estate investment trust. This is expected to provide more investment options for the country's emerging startup ecosystem. Insurance reach is still low in India, no doubt, but overall insurance penetration, a premium as percentage of GDP was 4.2% in 5-year annual plan 21, providing huge undeserved market. Coming to the government support, policy support extended by the central government. In September 2021, the Union Cabinet approved an investment of 6,000 crore, 8.71 million US dollar into entities offering export insurance covers to facilitate additional exports worth of 5.6 lakhs crore over the next 5 years. Coming to increasing investments aspect. In February 2021, the Finance Ministry announced to infuse rupees 3,000 crore, which is 4.13 million US dollar into state-owned general insurance companies to improve overall financial health of companies. It's a good sign of development. No doubt there are plethora of opportunities in the insurance sector. A student who's studying insurance paper as a subject, if they continue doing research and taking part in understanding the policy and the laws relating to insurance, no doubt they can get good career opportunities. In this regard, on behalf of management, on behalf of organizer, I thank Gayathri Madam for enlightening us on the career opportunities in insurance sector and looking into the insurance sector as a economic perspectives. How insurance sectors is having positive impact on economy of the state and country. No doubt, the discussion held today, informations given by the speaker will help my students or who are attended this webinar to take a challenge to do a research in the field of insurance. Once again, I thank the webinar coordinator, Vinay Ravishankar, and the faculties, teaching and non-teaching staff, students, and also to my institution CEO, sir, always supporting this kind of activities. Sir is telling that, Mahesha, you should think out of the box. This is one kind where we are discussing the issues on out of the box. Yes, students are going to study insurance law as a part of the subject. Once again, thanks to all for giving me an opportunity to share my thoughts.
Thank you, Mahesha. Thank you all the participants as well as the coordinator and the management. Thank you. So with your permission, can I log out?